What if the other Z fighters trained with Goku and Vegeta at the beginning of Super Part 5? On Beerus's planet, everyone that returned with Whis after the defeat of Frieza are back to their training. During a training session, a bright light and a noise that sounded like a missile interrupted their training. At the same time, Beerus is woken up by the loud noise and gets angry at all the characters training. After Beerus's outrage, his brother Champa get his attention. Beerus invites his brother in his house and asks what he is doing here. Champa offers a deal for the Universe 7's Earth. Goku steps up and says they should have a martial arts tournament, and the two gods of destruction agree. So the rules are set, and Champa says they should host it on the planet in neutral space. The tournament will be held with teams of 4 fighters instead of 5, since there is no need for a character to help keep the interest in training, since everyone has a found drive to do so. The Universe 7 team will consist of Goku, Vegeta, Tien, and Yamcha, and the Universe 6 team stays the same with the exception of Botomo. Now let the tournament begin. The first fight is Yamcha versus Vegeta, and this fight proves to be tricky for Yamcha, but he realizes that Vegeta can't fly, so he just destroys the arena, and Vegeta gets eliminated. Next is Yamcha versus Frost, and Frost uses his poison and eliminates Yamcha. Yamcha is confused on why he passed out, but he just thinks he was dehydrated after his first fight. Next is Tien versus Frost, and he realizes that Frost is cheating, thanks to his third eye. The announcer checks Frost and sees what Tien was talking about. Frost is about to be eliminated, but Tien still wants a real fight with Frost, and the announcer says that will be fine. Yamcha says that he is fine with staying eliminated from the tournament. Tien begins to completely body Frost with just a Kaioken time 20 without even activating his God Ki. Frost is eliminated with ease by an Earthling. The next fight is Tien versus Cabba, but Vegeta asks if he could switch with Tien, and he agrees. Now it's Vegeta versus Cabba. The fight goes relatively the same, except for the fact that Cabba hasn't seen what a Super Saiyan is. Vegeta still teaches him how to transform and eliminates him with one Super Saiyan Blue Gut Punch. Next is Vegeta versus the greatest assassin in Universe 6 Hit. The fight goes the exact same way as it did in canon. Now it's Tien versus Hit. Tien is weaker than Vegeta, but he is more skillful than him, since Tien was able to see how Hit's time skip worked. Tien started by using his clone technique, then he stacked that technique with the afterimage technique. Doing this makes it almost impossible to find the real Tien. Tien called this move the Ultra Afterimage. Once his technique is finished, Tien begins to charge a Tri-Beam, and Hit is shocked on how difficult it is for him to fight the original Tien. Hit began to strike down every single copy he saw, but since Tien is using clones and said clones also have an afterimage as well, Hit is having a hard time. Hit eventually started hitting the clones, and Tien was starting to take damage. Hit realized that Tien can feel all the damage of the clones. After the onslaught by Hit, there are 4 clones, and the real Tien still standing. Hit uses a move that can knock out all of the clones, and Tien is eliminated. Hit shows Tien a sign of respect for his efforts. Now, Goku versus Hit can begin, and nothing of note changes. Goku still combines Super Saiyan Blue with the Kaioken, and he actually defeats Hit since he is the last fighter. The tournament ends the same way in canon with the announcement of a future multiversal tournament and Zeno giving Goku the summoning button. Everyone returns to their lives back on Earth because Beerus is getting annoyed with these characters training on his planet. After returning to Earth, the full-blooded Saiyans learn that Gohan and the boys training with Piccolo has proven to be extremely effective, but we will discuss this in the next episode. After the conclusion of the Universe 6 tournament, all the Z fighters have returned to Earth to reconnect with their family and friends. With the return of the others, Piccolo was eager to show them how well he had trained Gohan and the boys. Piccolo tells them to power up, and the energy all 3 of them released shocked everyone that was present. Gohan was able to unlock his ultimate form once again, and the boys transformed into Super Saiyan 3, but their Super Saiyan 3 has been optimized to be used in the living realm. After showing the other Z fighters their newfound power, everyone goes their separate ways during the months of peace. During the time of peace, all the Z fighters continued their training amongst themselves, except for Vegeta and Yamcha, who trained in the Capsule Corp Gravity Room. One day at Capsule Corp, during a training session in the Gravity Room, a ship that resembles future Trunks' ship pops up in the sky. Before the ship lands, the cockpit opens, and a beaten-up Trunks falls out of it. Luckily, Goten and Kid Trunks were sparring in the backyard. Goten quickly caught Future Trunks, and Kid Trunks ran to go get his parents. Bulma, Vegeta, and Yamcha recognized the future version of the son of Vegeta. Bulma quickly called Chi-Chi to tell Goku to get Future Trunks a Senzu bean. Goku used instant transmission to grab a bean and brought the others along with him. Bulma gives her son the bean and he starts to gain consciousness. In the middle of Future Trunks waking up, he sees the silhouette of Goku and charges him. Goku catches Trunks' fist in his hand with a confused look on his face. Once Trunks comes to, he explains what's going on in the future. He tells them about how he beat Buu and the loss of the Supreme Kai, and the death of Bulma by the hands of an evil Goku. In the middle of Future Trunks explaining everything, a rip in the sky opens up, and the only thing that comes out of it is Goku Black. Black looks around and he sees all the Zia fighters, Beerus and Future Trunks. Trunks is about to rush Black, but Vegeta stops him and goes after him instead. Vegeta transforms into Super Saiyan 2 and battles Black. The fight goes the same way as it did in canon, ending with Black getting pulled back to the future. After the battle, Vegeta asked Bulma how long would it take to rebuild the ship and make more fuel. Bulma says about a year, since she has to rebuild the ship bigger than it originally was, so more people can go with Trunks. Vegeta asked Whis if he would train them, and Whis declined, saying that he isn't training anyone while time travel is involved, but him and Beerus are going to investigate something that caught their attention. Vegeta decides to train Future Trunks himself in the time chamber. Goku and the others join them to train as well. But before they all head to the lookout, Gohan and Piccolo arrive at Capsule Corp, and they join them as well. So we have the 2 full-blooded Saiyans, the 4 half-blooded Saiyans, the 3 Earthlings, and Piccolo are going to be training in the time chamber for the time being until Bulma finishes the work on the ship. Make sure y'all stay tuned for Part 7 when the Z Fighters go to the future.